I'm Samuel Clark, and we're going to work on a 2002 Yamaha TT-R125 today. Colton, tell them what we're going to do.
We are going to rejet the carburetor and modify the air intake.
So we're not professionals, but one pro tip I've got for you, if you've got long hair like I do, a thin little hairband will help keep the hair out of your eyes while you're working. Alright, let's get to it.
Yeah. So hey, we're back, and we're just going to take the seat off of the Yamaha so we can get to the air intake. So we just got to get this little bolt and pop it out. And then it doesn't come on fully screwed, it just pops out a little bit. You gotta get this bolt with a 10 millimeter. So quick clarification, you don't have to take this you don't have to take this bolt off to get the side panel off, but you do have to take it off to get the seat off. So we're just gonna take this bolt right here and pop it out real quick like that. Stuck to it a little bit right over here. And then you're going to pop the seat off real quick. You just gotta slide it out of its socket right here. And right here is the air intake. There we go. And that's the air intake. So now we've gotten to the Airbox, and pro tip, we have to take the air filter out because it's in there before we drill a hole in it to let the air or get more air. So first off, we've got to unlatch this little thing, and there's a metal thing, and then a clip over here. You're just gonna pop that off, and we just recently changed the air filter.
So what we're going to do is we're going to take our drill bit, and I've got a 3/4 inch hole bit right here. I'm going to drill 2 holes side by side. You can do this any number of ways. You can drill smaller holes and multiple ones, or if you also have a larger hole bit, you can use that too. Either way is fine. I've seen people take just a real large round drill bit and drill like 5 or 6. At any rate, we're going to use a 3/4 inch. So I think I'm actually going to drill a couple of more holes there. That's not quite as much air intake as I had wanted. So we're going to drill a couple more. The next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and get my shop vac, and I'm going to clean out the shavings from the plastic housing around the air filter. And then we're going to put the air filter back. Okay, great. Well, as you can see, we've gone ahead and cleaned up the inside of the air intake box here where the air filter is. One other thing we're going to do is we're going to remove the screen right here. And so on some models, the screen is actually on the outside and you can just slip it right out. on this model, what you have to do is you have to press in on the screen and grab from below. I don't know if you can see that, and then just work it out. I'd probably go ahead and keep this just in case you want to reinstall it at a later date. Try to do your best not to mess it up as you remove it. Okay, well, that completes the air modifications. If you want, at this point, you can put everything here back together, or you can just leave it open. But we're going to head to the carburetor next. Okay, so Colton's going to go ahead and put the air filter back in and the seat back on. And while he does so, we're going to play some great music, and he's going to work as fast as he can. Great. Okay, so the next part of the project is actually removing the carburetor. What we're going to do is we're going to start on the left side of the bike, or basically the back side of the carburetor. The two things we need to pull is we need to pull one of the air hoses, and then we need to pull the fuel hose. Anyway, we're going to zoom in and I'll show you what we're going to do on the back side of the carburetor. So you got this little air hose, it just pops right off. I don't know if you can see that right there. That little hose right there. Just pops right off. And if you want to come to the other side, you might have a better angle. What we're going to do is we're going to remove this clip. And then as we remove that clip, we're going to just pull the fuel line out. Now there's also a couple of things you can do. There's a little bit of fuel in that hose. So I'm just going to tuck it right up underneath there, to where there's no more gas that can come out. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and move to the other side, and you can move with me. For this part, what you need is a Phillips head, a 14mm, and then a little vice clamp. Alright, now we're going to loosen the clamps on either side. Yeah, I can see that there's a little bit of wiggle room there. So you got this right here. Just going to use our 14. Just back it off nicely. Alright, now that's loose. Going to take our clamp here. Let joy take temptation's place. Right here. I don't know if you can see that. So I'm just unthreading it. You'll just thread it back. And that's it. Your carburetor is now removed. You've got your throttle cable here. One thing to note is you've got this plastic is not completely universal. It's got to go in a specific way. You've got that thin line right there. And you've got the thick little area down at the bottom there, the opening there at the bottom. And just kind of keep in mind that thick area is going to go to the back and that thin area is going to go to the front, just for when you put the throttle cable back in. And that's it. We're going to get started on opening up the carburetor and now putting the new jets in. Okay, so here we go. We have the carburetor that has been recently removed from the Yamaha TT-R125L 2002 model, and Colton is now going to take the float bowl off.
Jesus don't fear the reaper, nor do the wind, the sun, or the rain. We can be like they are. Come on, baby, don't fear the reaper. Baby, take my hand.
Okay, now one final pro tip. We have actually taken this float ball off a couple of times, but one tip from YouTuber KX Rider is to take a hammer and before you actually unscrew them, tap the Phillips head with your hammer, and that'll help loosen. But we don't need to do that with our particular case. The float ball just comes right off. Now sometimes, like I said, you've got to be really careful. What you want to do is you want to inspect the head of the float bowl here, and you can see that it looks actually pretty clean. I did buy some carburetor cleaner, but it doesn't look like we're going to need to use that in this particular case. So then he's going to remove that plastic flange. Make sure you know which side is up, which side is down. That may sound silly, but if you get excited about rejetting, you might forget. He's going to take a little pin. He's going to push that dowel, that metal dowel out. You can see right there. And then he's going to be able to remove the float bowl float. And he's just going to set it right there. There is a little piece right... Sorry. Little piece right there that just came off. I'll show you how to put that back on here in just a second. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and grab our new jets. I'm going to grab those. I'll be right back to you. Okay, just a little bit of anatomy here. This right here is the main jet, and that right there is the pilot jet. Don't get confused with this one. That is actually the idle adjust. So we've got the main jet here. What is in the main jet is going to be a 105, and we're actually going to trade that out. I don't know if you can read that. Maybe, yeah. For a 110. We're going to trade the 105 out for a 110. And then our new jet for the pilot is going to be, we'll see if we can get it to focus on us there. I'm not sure if you can see that, but that's a 17.5. That is a 17.5 for the pilot jet. One more thing to note, as you are backing out the main jet here, sometimes this whole casing will start to come out. If it does, just put a little wrench on it, a little open head, and keep it from backing off. But Colton's going to go ahead and take out the main jet now. He's going to go ahead and switch out his Phillips head for a flat head. And remember, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Great. And he's just going to take that and set it to the side. And then he's going to go ahead and immediately put the new 110 in. And he's just going to tighten it down snug. He's not going to do anything too hard, just good and snug. Perfect. Now he's going to remove the pilot jet. And again, he's going to be very careful because that metal is soft. And he's going to go ahead and pull that on out. And you might have to just turn it over. Great. And that is the 15. He's got the 17.5 right there, and he's going to put it in. And he's going to slowly screw that in. He's going to be careful, and he's going to look the whole time what he's doing. Because as we talked about, that metal's a little bit soft. Take a quick break to kiss the wife. Alright, and he's got the 17.5 put in. So now the only thing we have left to do is put the carburetor back together, and in just 1 second we'll do that. All right, Colton's going to now put everything back together. He's going to grab the float first, and he's going to set it back in place, like so, making sure that the little pin there fits right down in the socket. And then he's going to take the dowel and slip it right through. There's nothing that actually secures the dowel in place. It just stays in place because it fits securely in its opening. Then he's going to take the little plastic flange, stick it back over the top of the main pilot. And that doesn't have anything that keeps it in place either. Then he's going to take the float bowl and set it right back on top. Just like that. Great. If you'll notice, there's a little indentation where the idle screw is. And that's how you know how to line the float bowl up. Alright, all he's going to do now is use his Phillips head. He's going to switch back to his Phillips head, and he's going to screw those 4 screws down again, and then we'll be ready to place the carburetor back on the Yamaha, and we'll fire up and we'll get it ready to go.
Let's see if it actually fires up.
Alright, Colton's going to pull the choke on, and we're going to fire it up real quick. He's going to turn the gas on too. We had turned the gas off. Pull that choke. He's probably going to need to give this a couple of kicks to fill the carburetor. And let's see.
Death is gain. I've been marked by my maker, a peculiar display. Yeah. Now high and lofty, they see me as weak, 'cause I won't live and die for the power that he's seeking. There was a man from the desert with axe in his head. The sand that he walked was also his bed. The words that he spoke made the people assume there wasn't too much left in the upper room. With skins on his back and hair on his face, they thought he was strange by the locals he ate. You see the Pharisees trip when they heard him speak, until the king took the head of this Jesus freak. What will people think when they hear that I'm a Jesus freak? What will people do when they find that it's true? I don't really care if they label me a Jesus freak.
So Colton, what did you think about your ride?
It has a lot more kick to it, and it sounds a lot better, a lot more horsepower, and power.
Would you say it's smoother through the gears?
It's a lot smoother. It stopped up all my hesitating too.
Yeah, and that's what I noticed as well. Really a lot smoother. You really felt like the air to fuel ratio was much better. No hesitation. Really good low-end grunt. Not sure that it's really going to make a huge difference in your top-end speed, but you know, this is a trail bike, so that's not really what our goal is anyway. We just need to make sure that we can get up those little trails and kick some little dirt rooster tails behind us. All right, well, again, I was Samuel Clark, and this was Colton Clark. We really hope that you enjoyed this video. If nothing else, we might have entertained you just a bit, even if we didn't teach anything. Until next time.
Like, comment, and subscribe.